Shalom family, what's good, what's good? Waiting for YouTube to send the notifications out for those who may see this video later. You are watching a live stream. Today we got a real important topic. On this channel, we tend to speak about all sorts of spiritual battles that we deal with, and a battle of the flesh that tends to be a constant battle. In this video, I want to speak about the benefits, the spiritual benefits of fasting. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, spiritual benefits. Because as you look at YouTube or various other social media sites, when they speak about fasting, they tend to speak about the physical powers that one can unlock. But I tend to more so focus on the spiritual side of things because people are so vain, and it's all about appearance and vanity, and I more so want to focus on what happens in the spiritual realm, because what happens spiritually then must manifest physically. Good morning. Who we got up in here? We got Deborah Rios in the house. How you doing? Shalom, shalom. Good morning. You can be free. We got Malik, Amanda, Derek Ellis. Good morning, family. Good morning. I don't really like the term good morning. I'm gonna tell you why. The word morning means like you're sad or mourning or going through something. And the English language is truly a bastard language. But it is what it is. Yep, absolutely. So I want to talk about the spiritual benefits of fasting or intermittent fasting. For those who are not familiar of what intermittent fasting is, that's basically when you fast, you got 24 hours in a day. You can have an eating window. You can have a 4-hour eating window, 6-hour eating window, or 8-hour eating window. For the rest of the time, you're fasted. That's intermittent fasting. Or you could just fast for days at a time, or whatever the Most High puts on you, or how long, that's between you and the Most High. So today we're going to go through a few verses, and then we're going to really break this thing down, like the powers that one may unlock from fasting. So, as you know, ladies and gentlemen, this system that we live in always promotes having an insatiable appetite. The battle of the flesh and our carnal desires tend to be, I would say, overwhelming at times. And see, the importance of fasting is gaining discipline over your vessel, as well as tapping into some unknown spiritual powers that we all have within ourselves. And as you notice, the Messiah or Christ, the Mashiach, whatever you would like to call him, he fasted for 40 days and for 40 nights, right? Now, the Savior decided that he was going to go into the desert and fast for 40 days and 40 nights. And there was a reason for that, because he knew that he could not be around people, the general public. He knew that he had to be secluded, because he knew that purging the flesh for 40 days and 40 nights was going to result in certain spiritual activities taking place. He knew that pineal gland would be decalcified, and he would begin to basically see the spiritual realm live and direct. So when Christ fasted, he went to be secluded. He went into the desert. He began to see demonic forces. He began to see angelic forces. He began to see the world exactly for what it is. And not only that, he began to communicate within between that realm. Now, that shows you in detail how important and how much spiritual relevance has with fasting. We're blessed with all sorts of impulses that we all inherit through the Most High God because we're made in His image. We have these impulses that connect us to the Most High. Now, a lot of the times, these impulses are diluted because we're constantly feeding the flesh. Remember, the Bible says man lives not off bread alone. So we don't just live off what we consume. There's a spiritual aspect to it all. This is why a man can go so long without food and water and survive and basically, walk around and live and breathe and talk. Because something spiritual is what keeps us alive. We have a soul. Absolutely. Isn't opening the third eye demonic? Well, I did a video about everything you need to know about the quote unquote third eye, but I'll briefly summarize what it's talking about. So, the world has diluted the meaning of what the third eye is. Let's make it very simple for you. The quote unquote third eye is nothing more than a pineal gland. All right? It's a gland in the front of your head. It's shaped like a pine cone. It's a real gland within your brain. It's shaped like a pine cone, and it helps you to see with your eyes closed. Now, what do I mean by see with your eyes closed? It allows you to dream. All right? When you are asleep, you're literally seeing with your eyes closed. So your pineal gland actually helps with releasing melatonin, helping you sleep, so on and so forth. Now, all of these conscious community, Egyptologists, Pan-African, they want to make the pineal gland, which the Most High created for you to connect you to certain things in the spiritual realm, like dreams or visions. The prophets had dreams and visions. People want to worship the creation more than the creator himself. All right? So what tends to happen is people worship the third eye or the pineal gland more than the one, the Most High God, who created the pineal gland. You understand? So when I speak about it, I'm speaking about it from the aspect scientifically, the Most High gave us a pineal gland in our minds. They call it the mind's eye. Now, systematically, through societal changes and the uprising of a new age doctrine over the world, a new age teaching, a new age Babylonian religion belief system, people have turned the third eye symbolism into the one eye symbolism. That's why you have an eye on the back of your dollar bill, giving reference to Horus. And the eye on the back of your dollar bill, that signifies Horus or Satan. So that's demonic. So they'll take something that's actually pure that the Most High created, which is your mind's eye, and make it demonic. So when we speak about this thing from a scientific standpoint as well. So there are natural sciences that the Most High created. I hope that answers your question regarding that. So when Christ went into the desert for 40 days and 40 nights, what tends to happen when you're not eating, when you're purging the flesh, your pineal gland is stimulated at an all-time high. So when Christ went into that desert, he knew. He's like, look, I got to go in the desert. I got to be isolated. I got to be secluded from everybody because I'm going to get visions. I'm going to be seeing things in the spiritual realm. So once he went into that desert, he didn't want people to think he was crazy because he was going to be out there talking, casting spirits away, so on and so forth. And that's how that happened. So now that we identify how important fasting is regarding spirituality in the spiritual realm, we're going to get into some details. But first and foremost, if you're in this live chat, make sure you hit that thumbs up so everybody can get the notifications because I'm about ready to go in. And I'm going to wait a few minutes and let y'all get it popping. That's what's up. Thank y'all for showing the love for those in here. Make sure we get those notifications out. Greetings, Get Division. How are you? We're going to go into some verses about this fasting. Shalom. Got John Harris in the house. So in Luke chapter 4, verse 2, it says, being 40 days tempted of the devil, and in those 40 days he did eat nothing. And when they were ended, afterwards he hungered. So that just shows the discipline that the Messiah had. You know what I mean? During that time, he was being tempted by the enemy the whole time. So when you go into a fast, you know that things in the spiritual realm are going to be coming at you at all directions. And we're a lot more sensitive to what's taking place that's around us when we fasting. And when you look at it these days, this system doesn't promote this type of discipline over our vessels. It actually promotes the total opposite. We are literally programmed to have an insatiable appetite. Every time you turn on social media, every time you turn on the television, they're basically promoting the 7 deadly sins, and gluttony being number one. You know what I'm saying? Well, one of the most that they promote on basic television would be gluttony. Come to Chili's, come to Outback Steakhouse, come here, get 4 burgers for this. Like, it creates it creates a barrage of carnality. Because if you never step back and just purge the flesh and rid yourself of just living off bread alone, you cannot tap into your true spiritual potential. Now, I know on YouTube and various other social media sites, you got a lot of fitness channels that speak on fasting, and they talk about the powers that you can unlock physically. All right? They speak about the powers you can unlock physically, but I want to focus more on the spiritual side of it, because everybody is basically trying to be vain and vanity and how one looks in front of the next person. I want to more so focus on the spiritual aspect of it, because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Some of the most beautiful people in the world, the quote unquote most beautiful people in the world, are the most wicked, wretched, demonic people in the world. So we got to think past the surface of just, physical appearance and all of this kind of stuff. What happens in the spiritual realm is what's going to manifest physically. So even when we get our new bodies incorruptible, hey, those people who are beautiful on the inside, who are speaking truth, who are trying to be empathetic and live righteous, those people in the kingdom to come will be the greatest. And that's just what it is. Let's look at some of these comments. All right. Like vampire facials, that's a demonic ritual. Yep, absolutely. You got people going as far as putting blood on their face, human blood on their face, for vanity, to be beautiful, to be this and be that, and to appear a certain way in front of others. What about how you appear in front of the Most High? That's the question. What about what the Most High requires of you? So when it comes to this fasting thing, we focus more on the spiritual side of it, all right? And it gives us certain powers that we can unlock to help us fight the battles of the flesh. So, now, how are we commanded to fast? Let's talk about it. Now, in Matthew chapter 6, verse 17 through 18, it reads, "But thou, when thou fast, anoint thy head, wash thy face, that thou appear not unto men to fast, but unto the Father which is in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly." So what it's talking about is you ain't gotta, when you're fasting, you know how a lot of times people want to put on a show. They want to appear emaciated, starving. They screwing their face up, showing the world, man, I ain't ate in 10 days, man. I'm hurting out here. Nah, the Most High says, look, you wash your face, anoint your head with oil. Hey, you don't tell men that you fasting. You don't let the world know that you're fasting. That's between you and the Most High. And when you go on that fast, then the Most High, what you're doing secretly, the Most High will bless you openly, meaning you'll excel, he'll bless you, he'll put you where you need to be because you are obedient to his word. All right? So when you fasting, you ain't got to, like I see a lot of people on YouTube who showing, hey man, I've been fasted for 20 days, 15 days, 10 days. Now, if you choose to do that as some type of experiment that you want to personally do online, showing that you fasted for 10 days and all of that, then that's on, that's on that person. But if you're doing this for spiritual reasons, that's between you and the Most High. You are not to be speaking and telling nobody how long you've been fasting. And then the Most High bless you openly. And when we speak about the battles of the flesh and fasting, this thing helps on everything, on every level. It helps with the no fap lifestyle change as well. I seen somebody just ask about no fap, but it definitely helps with that because if you're sitting there fasting, then something like your sexual energy you can gain discipline over because you're hungry. You really, far as the mental aspect of it, you're not really thinking about that. And yeah, that's crazy you pointed that out, Christopher. Christopher Alexander says, yes, you see the spirits influenced by them tempting you. Absolutely. See, ladies and gentlemen, anything that you try to do to rid your flesh, anything you try to do to rid your flesh, there are going to be opposing sides coming against you. If you get on a no-fap lifestyle change and try to, basically refrain from the sexual redundant behavior, you know that those succubus or incubus are going to try to attack you in your dreams. This is something you can anticipate. All right? You know that if you're fasting, you might see something in your house move around to cause fear within you. Because anytime you're trying to purge the flesh, those spirits or those demons, which have insatiable appetites, are going to try their best to tempt you. That's something that we got to prepare for. So it is a battle. It's a battle of the flesh for a reason. Fasting is to show you your spiritual fullness. How long should you fast? Asks Mo. That's between you and the Most High, what he requires of you. Now, there are many forms of fasting. You got intermittent fasting, which is fasting with the eating window. You got 24 hours in a day. Your eating window can be 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, right? And for the rest of the time, you just fasted. Or you can fast for 48 hours at a time, a week. It's totally up to you. And I know that I said I was going to speak on mostly the spiritual benefits, but I also want to speak about physical and mental, because fasting does have physical and mental benefits as well. And one of those things is, y'all got to understand, your digestive system is the hardest working organ within the human body. It's your digestive system. If you don't give your digestive system time to have a break, that's when you're not getting rid of waste the way you should within your body. And the whole idea is, what you don't eliminate is what you accumulate. What you don't eliminate out of your body, you will accumulate. All right? So giving your digestive system a break will have it working the way it should, firing on all cylinders, getting rid of waste, and it acts as a form of detoxification, because they do attack us physically as well. Mentally, there are many studies shown that a person who has fasted, particularly intermittent fasting, that a person can absorb more information. A person can have better memory based on being at a fasted state. They absorb more information. Many studies have shown that. That's a great point. DeAndre Walker says, pay attention to the music you all listen to. The brain is like a sponge. Absolutely. And that's one thing I also want to point out. When you are fasting, you want to be really careful about what you bring into your spirit. You want to be really careful about what you're listening to, what you're watching, what you're feeding your soul. Because you're pretty much an open vessel at that point. So when fasting, that helps with the battle. And you want everything that you could get, all the spiritual benefits that you can receive from the fast. Quentin Knox says, why do Christians neglect the Old Testament? Because that's what the pastors, the preachers have been taught through theologians, seminary colleges. And they basically taught lies to the people. And people believe these lies. So we talking about fasting, the spiritual benefits that people get from fasting, and also the battle of the flesh, the continuous battle of the flesh, because ladies and gentlemen, it's continuous. Anytime you're trying to do what's right by the Most High, you can expect there to be an opposing side coming against you. You can expect it. You want to go on no fap, you can expect the temptation to be there. You want to go on a fast, you can expect the temptation to be there. It's almost like clockwork. The moment you decide to fast, you're going to go to work. Somebody going to bring in donuts and bagels and muffins that morning. That's just how it happens. You decide to go on no fap. You get on your laptop to do research, and then you're going to have pop-ups. You can go on a random website nowadays and get pop-ups for, like, adult pop-ups. And y'all got to understand, living in the times that we live in now, the prophets of old didn't have to deal with such temptations that we have to deal with. Back then, the prophets were a lot closer to the Most High because, listen, they didn't have the World Wide Web. They didn't have billboards. They didn't have people spending millions upon trillions of dollars in advertisement and propaganda. You didn't have all of these things that's going on now. It wasn't happening the same way in the times of old. So now, living in the last days, it is important. It is more important now than ever to be set apart, tap into our spiritual divine powers that the Most High gave us with inherently, and really purge the flesh. Y'all got to look at it like this. All of life's wonders, right? And I hope I don't go over your heads what I'm about to say. All of life's wonders, right? What we inherit and what we inherited through the Most High, we are not even supposed to wonder about life's wonders. Let that marinate. We are not supposed to wonder about life's wonders because of what we have inherently. But what it's going to take is discipline, purging the flesh, ridding ourselves of the demonic influences of our everyday lives. It takes a lot for us to look in the mirror and say, you know what? Do I have a demon or a spirit, an unclean spirit within my household? Do I have an unclean spirit within my vessel? And if so, what are the next steps that I take to get rid of that? No. It takes a lot to conquer our fears. When you look at Hollywood, when you look at the idiot box and the things they promote, the horror movies in particular. The horror movies are geared to make you think that demonic forces or malevolent forces are stronger than you. They're there to make you fearful instead of us combating, getting rid of these spirits, purging our flesh, going on fast. You know, it might be the Most High might put it on you to fast, just drink water for 5 days. We got a lot to go up against. They're getting us from mental angle, a mental, physical, and spiritual angle. But we got to really fight the spiritual battle first. Absolutely. C says, no FAP is a huge benefit. I did this before, and I even understood what it meant not to do until men was looking at me like a meat factor. It wasn't until it was too late. Yep. So that's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that this video really benefited you all. And far as our spiritual walk and really dealing with the perils that we face. Yep. The smile says American fast food, poison-filled GMOs. Absolutely. So, you know, we got to purge our flesh because that's how we fight this spiritual battle. I'd like to thank y'all for tuning in. For those who for those who've been asking about my music, it is on SoundCloud. It's at I Am New Breed. That's IAMNUBREED. So if you still want to hear the music, definitely go there. Knocking Down Idols is still being prepared, and it's gonna end up going on Patreon because it didn't suit well with YouTube's policies. So on this channel, we're just going to continue to focus on a spiritual aspect of things. And if you're looking for the other material, that's where it will be. And I'll let you know in due time. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Shalom and peace.